Hi guys, right, today using our brand new subscription box, which is number 49, and it's all about the interchangeable scene dies. We are going to be making this lovely dimensional card. Now we are going to use the elements from box number 49. What I have included is a little piece of my own multi-purpose cardstock. So what I have done is I have got a layer and I've already cut it to 8 inches by 5.5 inches. And what I've also done is another one that is 10 inches by 5.5 inches. I've scored at 1.5, I've scored at 2.5 inches. To make it easier for myself, I flipped it over. Once again, I scored at 1.5 and then 2.5. What I then done is brought in a 4x4 nesting die, matte and Laird die, and popped that into the middle and done exactly the same with my navy blue cardstock that comes included with subscription box 49. What I've done is I layered it straight over the top and die cut them both at the exact same time. This gives me the perfect aperture. So what I can do to start with is at the side, we're going to do a valley and then we're going to do a mountain. So the valley, as you can see from up above, is a dip downwards and a mountain is a mountain upwards. Done the same on both sides. This is where we're going to create our diorama or our theatre card. I'm going to pop them to the side for a moment. What I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in a piece of my white cardstock that's 4.5 inches by 5. I'm going to bring in my 2 dies. So this one is your old style Victorian lantern. You can make it more modern if you want, depending on the colours you use. I'm going to bring in this one here. Now at first you might think, what is that going to be? This is actually going to create the tree and also the cloud. Both the dies have your outside cutting edge, but the end at the top and the end at the base. So what we can do is join them together. If you would rather do this bit separate, you absolutely can do. However, what I would say is by doing them together, it makes it really, really easy and more straightforward to use your low-tack tape, position the dies against each other and pop a little bit of low-tack tape to secure them. That way, you're going to get both of them in the position that you want, you're going to get them cut at the same time, and you can get on to, we know, the fun bit, which is doing the decorating. Popping it into my folder, I'm using my Gemini MIDI. If you want to use one of your electric die cutting machines, the Geminis, you can do, or any other die cutting machine, that's up to yourself as well. Open our folder, let's remove this component out. We're going to carefully prise that off, taking it away. What we can then do is either pop that aperture straight out. If it's still in place, that can happen, don't worry. All that you need to do is where the 2 dies have met, snip away. There's just a little piece of cardstock holding it together. So we're going to snip that away. We can remove that one out. Then what we have got is that old style lantern. I'm going to take a piece of the pattern paper for the moment, just so that you can see. So we've got the trees, the lantern, the clouds, and we've also got that tree just popping into the side. So now that we've got that one, let's go back into our concept. So I'm going to set that one to the side. I like to assemble this first and then start to build up my image. So what I can do is take my tape off. You might want to use your wet glue. Please feel free to do that. I'm using my dry tape and I'm using my pokey tool to take it off. I'm not worried about the measurements I've popped in there for you because we're going to cover them up. I'm going to go edge to edge. I'm going to turn it around and I'm going to go edge to edge. And we can press that one in. So you'll be able to see that we've got a lovely theatre diorama card, but it will still fold flat as well. Let's go back in with our patterned layer. I adore this sort of galaxy sort of effect, the stars. You can then start to add more of your own crafty stamps and dies. Maybe you've got some planets, rockets. You can do that if you so wish. I'm going to then go in, I'm slotting it inwards. If you do feel more comfortable doing this bit separate, you can do, but for me, I have a personal preference of assembling my concepts first, then popping my pattern papers in. We can then go in with my side panels. All that I've done is matte and layered them ones onto a piece of that navy blue that comes included. This is going to finish off your project. It's nice, makes it look that little bit more professional. You can add more inks if you want. That's up to yourself. But we can then add that one in. We can then come back in with our die cut. I'm going to bring this one in. The only thing I've done beforehand is added 6 of my dewdrops, which come included. I've already popped my tape on, so I'm taking this one off. These would be lovely to make very, very simple cards using the 5x5 card blanks that you get included, because you get the 18 of them and you get the envelopes. But if you want to make big concept cards, like I'm doing here, you can add your own cardstock and you can create big, dimensional, themed cards if you want. What about adding these onto the backdrop of a scrapbook page? Have a little photo at the back. Lots of ways that you can do that. I'm going to bring in my concept. What I like to do once again is just position it into place. You might prefer to do this flat, which you can if you like to do it my way, but sometimes you feel a little bit unsecure about attaching it. Fold it flat, pop it into place, press, you've got it in that right position. Sentiment that I've already added my pads onto, we can take the backing off. I'm going to pop that at the bottom. And then last but by no means least, let's bring in our bow, top right hand corner. I'm going to pop that one on. So the blue is matching the pattern paper, it's matching the cardstock, and there we have a lovely theatre diorama card that we have made using subscription box number 49, which is all about the interchangeable scene dies from Crafter's Companion.